Transmitters on. Request lines open. Border Crossings is on the air from VOA Music Mix.
Hi, this is Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings on the Voice of America. It's the start of a brand new week, and we're listening to some new music from a very beautiful young lady who comes to us from Los Angeles, California. Vinnie V is her name, and Vinnie's in our studios today, and we welcome you to Washington, D.C.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You are absolutely gorgeous. You have a beautiful smile and great voice, and so you're off and going now. You've got this music career. How long have you been doing this?
Professionally, not too long. I've been singing since I was a little girl, though. In the shower, in the car. I actually, my sisters and my cousins would actually take my CDs and hide them from me. I'd say, have you seen that CD? Have you seen it? And they're like, nope, haven't seen it, sorry. 3 months later, I'd find it tucked all the way behind their desk. What do you mean you haven't seen it? Well, I didn't want to hear you sing that song anymore.
Now, have you always been singing, upbeat dance music? Because I guess that's kind of the sound of the new CD.
I have. I've always listened to pop music, and then musical theater, just everything. I love all kinds of music.
And you have been on tour, I guess, recently. You were performing with Jay Park here not too long ago in the Maryland area.
We were actually at the Fillmore a couple weeks ago, and we did a show there. It was Jay Park and Dumbfounded, and it was for the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month tour, which is pretty important to me because I feel like so many people have immigrated here and they've worked so hard to be where they are. And a perfect example of that is my parents. I mean, they lived in North Vietnam. I'm Vietnamese. They lived in North Vietnam, and when the communists came in there, they actually had to move to South Vietnam with just clothes on their back. So they started over, and then they actually left Vietnam the last day that they could. They were on one of the last boats that went out, and they came here. And my dad actually works for Alcoa, and he's been there for a long time now. And my mom actually works for the Huntington Beach High School District, teaching English. So, I mean, it took a lot to learn the language, and they've worked so hard to get what they are.
And you are an only child? Or you have brothers and sisters?
No, I'm actually one of three.
One of three?
I have two sisters.
Do they also sing? Or
they sing for fun, yeah, and I think my sisters are great singers, but they're kind of shy, and they don't like to do it in public.
Now, have your parents been back to Vietnam, and have you gone to Vietnam?
I have not. I would love to go there, but I haven't had a chance.
Well, it seems like in the last couple of years, and we were talking off the air about Far East Movement, who were the first Asian band to hit #1, like a G6. And, the Asian movement is going on now. And I think a lot of people are very into, especially K-pop has become recently a very popular form of music in the U.S.
Definitely. I feel like Far East Movement has made it big. I mean, they, like you said, they went to #1. I feel like it's harder for Asian American women, though, for some reason, in the pop industry.
Why do you think that's the case?
There's just not really any of them.
Well, there is now.
I mean, there's, 15 to 17 million Asian Americans here. And there have got to be so many talented musicians, but we don't see them. And I mean, for me, I feel like I got to actually number 47 on the Billboard charts. And it came to kind of a standstill because Clear Channel owns so many stations, but not one would add me. So it's kind of a miracle that I got that far without being on any of those stations. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. The power of the internet, these days. Internet sales, have really helped a lot of artists who couldn't find their way onto the playlist of radio stations.
Yes.
So the internet's your good friend. And based on, the success you had on YouTube, I guess, you've had millions of views for your videos.
I have. I was actually really shocked to see that. And after I was put on the radio, I actually got some emails from young girls saying, it's so nice to see an Asian female pop artist. They're none to look up to, and I'm so glad there's finally someone for me to watch. Or
it's interesting because at this time, right now, and I know in your heart and in your soul, you will always be interested in your culture and talking about your culture and whatnot. But right now, you're just starting and you're hoping to make a mark as an Asian American artist and a female Asian, and then you become a superstar as an Asian American artist. You're going to start saying, "Stop seeing me as an Asian American artist. Just see me as an artist."
I mean, I'll always be Asian. You can't deny that.
No,
fact,
absolutely.
So no, I mean, I'm glad to be who I am, and I don't ever want to look down upon anything.
How old are you?
I will say...
Because I'm older than you, I can ask, see?
You're not supposed to ask me all that question.
I know, but see, I'm much older than you, so you're in your 20s, I'm guessing.
I am. Mm-hmm. I will say that on my driver's license, it says that I am old enough to drink.
Yeah. Well, you're young. Don't worry about that. You got plenty of time to worry about your age. Vinnie V is our guest. You have a new EP which follows an album that you put out not too long ago.
Yes. My first album was Nightmare a Dream, and that was just kind of a fun album. And then after we put those...
I'm showing it to the camera.
After we put a video that we made on YouTube, it went big. So I thought, let's focus on what I like more, which is more of the pop music. So I went in the studio and recorded some more songs, and they're pop with kind of a dance beat to them. And that's what's on my EP. And
you've got, from the cover, which I just showed, a very, very sexy, revealing dress.
I do.
So I mean, obviously, you're a beautiful girl. So your music is about what? What's the subject? Is it love? Is it romance? Is it sex? All of the above? What is it?
I actually haven't wrote any songs about sex yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it a little more PG. But no, it's definitely about love, relationships, heartbreak. There's actually a song on there that they played earlier, I'll Hold My Breath, which I actually wrote for one of my friends. He's actually a Marine. And it's one of those things where so many families have people that are in the military. And when they're deployed, actually my friend is being deployed tomorrow. So when they're away, you always have to worry about them, no matter what. So that's kind of like, I'll hold my breath until you come back and I know you're safe.
Well, that's beautiful. I'm going to ask if you wouldn't mind singing.
I would love to.
You came here, and I guess your invisible partner will do the harmonies with you. But
yes.
Vinnie V is here on the Voice of America. What are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to sing Remember Me first.
Okay, great. If you wouldn't mind, we'd love to hear from you. You're listening to the Voice of America. It's live on a Monday, and Vinnie V is here to sing a beautiful song for us.
So you'd always remember, and we touched. Oh, I wanted you so much, and you couldn't get enough. You said you'd always remember, me. Remember me. It was just like any other day. We were strangers, going separate ways, and there you were. You caught my eye, couldn't let you just pass me by. Your eyes were smiling in the twilight, and the timing, it felt so right. Pushing playback in my memory. We were beautiful, and we kissed. You were burning up with bliss. I left glitter on your lips, so you'd always remember, and we touched. Oh, I wanted you so much, and you couldn't get enough. You said you'd always remember. Fast forward, descending, clear-eyed and heart-rending. Dreams start to fade to black. Can't go on, can't go back. Grab my bags and rush off. One final glance, my heart stops, and we kiss. Now I'm burning up with bliss. You've got glitter on your lips, and you'll always remember, and we touched. Oh, I wanted this so much, and I can't believe the rush. I know you'll always remember, remember me.
Great. Wow, Vinnie V in our studios, live on the Voice of America from the new EP For You, which is out right now.
It is out right now. It's on, if you go to my website, VinnieV.com, there are links that'll take you to iTunes or Amazon or wherever.
Wherever
my
CDs
Facebook,
are sold.
My Twitter.
Wow, and you
everywhere.
keep in touch with all your fans. You
I do.
personally answer.
I
You
do.
don't have a staff of people that are.
I don't. Once in a while, the record company will go on and post like, oh, there's going to be a show, for example, at the Fillmore.
Right.
But
Or on
no.
the Voice of America.
Or on the Voice of America. But no, I personally answer my fans.
Now, how do you spell your name, just for the benefit of the listeners who are worldwide in different countries right now?
It's Viennieve. And
what does the V stand for?
it's the first initial of my last name.
Oh, and you don't give that out.
I don't like to. I like to remain a little bit of a mystery.
Now, I mean, I lived in Japan, I lived in Hong Kong, and many of my friends are Asian, and I've traveled throughout Asia. And, typically Asians are very reserved and typically quiet. Now, this is an interesting career choice because you put yourself out there. So maybe that's why we don't see a lot of Asian performers in the United States.
That might be part of it. I mean, we are very reserved. I know that I don't like to talk about myself very much, but when I'm on stage, it's like a different person. It's like, hello, world, here I am. And that's just not
So you have an
normally
alter
me.
ego.
I think
At
I
home,
do.
you're-
It's like Bruce Wayne and Batman,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you sound great.
Thank
and,
you.
And you look lovely. And I know the video is doing well for the new single.
It is.
And you star in that video with a movie actor. How did you
Yes.
get Brian Hinono to do a music video?
He was actually in the area shooting, I think, part of Battleship, and he happened to see that we were looking for someone. He said, you know what? I think I'll come out and try out for it because I want to support other Asian American artists. So he did, and he's in my video, and he's actually very down-to-earth, very nice guy.
Now, you list among your idols Etta James and Taylor Swift and Christina Aguilera. Now, all three of those have very different contributions to music. So
They do.
how do you come to idolize those particular artists?
I mean, I like who they are. I love their songs. Like Etta James, At Last, I love that song. Whenever I go karaokeing, I have to sing that song. If I sing one song, that'll be the one.
Yeah.
And then, Taylor Swift, I actually saw her on your show, and she's just so humble, so down to earth, such a nice girl. And Christina Aguilera she's amazing. I mean, her voice, her performances, just everything.
So somebody new in the business, and you're not brand new. You've been doing this a while, as you mentioned, but you're kind of relatively new.
I
and
am.
This is your second album, your second CD that you
Well,
put out.
Yeah.
The first studio, now an EP. I don't know
Yes.
how many other EPs you've had out. but
This is my first EP.
First
So I had
EP.
the album, this is the EP.
Why not American Idol? Why not get your face out there and your name out there, that way?
I've never really thought about actually going onto a reality show. I think it's because there's so many cameras, and they actually make me nervous.
Well, I hear that from singers, and I'm kind of confused because stage fright and show business, they happen often, but they are total opposites.
It sounds weird, but it's totally different being here with all the lights and the cameras and the microphone just right there. But being in front of an audience is so different. I don't know what it is about it. I think you can hear them, you can interact with them, which is different. But I get nervous before I go on stage too. But I think I'm kind of shaking right now.
No, you don't have to be. Yeah, and for those of you listening, she has some bracelets on, some
Sorry.
baubles.
I can
No,
take
no,
them
you
off.
can keep them on. That's okay.
Okay.
It's not reindeer or anything, and
Santa's
Christmas time.
coming.
Yeah, Santa's coming early. Now, have you performed in Asia? I mean,
I haven't, that's one of the things I'm looking to go back in the studio and write more songs and record more. But another thing I'd love to do is tour different places, and Japan, Korea, Europe, Australia. So we're actually looking for somewhere to go. So if anybody wants us to come there, let us know.
they're available.
Yes,
But the calendar,
definitely.
I'm sure, is filling up for you because, as you mentioned earlier, you were doing some shows with several other artists. And do you have plans to go on a tour? Is that in your plan for the rest of the year?
I don't have a tour set up now. I would love to do a tour before the end of the year, but we'll see what
Like
what
clubs
happens.
or something, like colleges or something?
Oh yeah, definitely. I went on a tour earlier, and we'd performed in a college. I think it was in Iowa, and that was a bus tour where we went to Florida and we went up to North Carolina, over to Missouri. We went all over the place, and we ended up back in California.
Do you speak Vietnamese?
I do.
Oh.
It's not super fluent, but it's pretty good. I understand everything, though, so don't say anything bad about me. I'll understand it.
Well, we're broadcasting in Vietnam right now, and I get
awesome.
email from listeners in Vietnam who are tuned in. Can you indulge me and say hello in Vietnamese to the audience? Just let them know your name and that you're on the Voice of America.
No. I can't.
No, you can.
No,
just
I can't.
a little bit. Anything.
It's on the spot. I can't do it on the spot. I actually speak a little bit of Spanish, too.
Oh, well, we're on in Latin America, too. But, you're being heard all around the world. 60 countries are meeting Vinnie V for the very first time right now. And you can't be so shy.
I am. I'm like you said, Asians are reserved, and I'm definitely reserved.
Well, we're going to try and get you out of your shell. And, so the rest of the world can get to know you a little bit better and meet you and get inside of that beautiful exterior. And I'm sure you're just as beautiful inside. Now, you write your own music.
I do.
And does that come easy for you?
Sometimes it does. If something happens where I'm upset, I usually tend to write faster. But no, I mean, it's definitely a thought process. I like to make sure I feel what I'm writing and I can connect with my words. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's fast and sometimes it's relatively slow.
Now, if you weren't in music, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd probably be in school. My family is full of doctors and lawyers and dentists, so I would probably be on that track.
So you're well protected. You got a nice contract.
Yeah.
Vinnie V is our guest, and the new EP is available on her website and, of course, Amazon and iTunes. The CD is called For You. Yes. Which is a song I guess you're going to sing for us.
Yes, it's actually the remix version.
The remixed version. Oh, great. Well, she's going to do this live for us on Border Crossings. And I wanted to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I knew you were coming on, and I had some pho just the other day in honor of your appearance.
I love pho.
I had,
So yummy.
And goi kun.
And what?
The wrapped goi kun. Goi kun. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Oh, come on. That's the very
Goi kun? Go-ik-one?
There you go. Okay. See, I knew I was going to say.
Sorry, I was like, wait, which one is it?
That's the problem with people who speak English trying to speak another language.
It's hard because Vietnamese, I think, is very tonal. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I actually, when I was younger, my mom was teaching me how to read it. And in order to read it, I would literally have to move my head in the way the accent would go. So if it went up, I'd go up. If it went down, I'd go down. And there's one that looks like a question mark, and I would do this. And my sister would look at me and go, Why are you doing that with your head? Like, I can't do it. I can't read it unless I do that. So,
well, maybe you'll think about singing in Vietnamese.
I would love to do that.
That would be wonderful.
Definitely.
If, I'm sure they would appreciate that in Vietnam. That'd be great.
I mean, it would be fun to do
to get
that
your
too.
name and music out around the world and other places. All right, Vinnie V is going to do the new single for us. This is called For You, the title track from the new EP. And again, thank you so much for coming in and being on our show.
Thank you again for having me.
It's wonderful to meet you in person. Come back again the next time you're in D.C.
Definitely.
Here's Vinnie V live on The Voice of America.
I would move the world for you if you ever asked me to circle around the sun and moon. I would move the world for you. I'm aiming with my loaded gun. I'm searching for the perfect one. I'm finding me a love that's right before the night is over. I'm chasing down a pure heart. I'm calling out to where you are. I'm sending out a signal flare. I feel you getting closer. Closer. I would move the world for you if you ever asked me to circle around the sun and moon. I would move the world for you, for you. Boys that tell their silly lies, and girls they get so teary-eyed. I swear I thought of giving up the dream of love forever. Sign her right to the cheese and fakes, 'cause tonight I'm gonna raise the stakes. I'm wishing on a falling star to draw hearts together. circle around the sun and moon. I would move the world for you. I would move the world for you. If you ever ask me to circle around the sun and moon, I would move the world for you, for you, for you, for you.
Vinnie V, for you, the new single. Thank you, Vinnie, for coming in. I really appreciate meeting you. I was just curious.
Yes.
It occurred in my head as I was watching you sing and thinking about working with Brian Hinono. Is acting a part of the future for you? Is that something because you live in Hollywood? I mean, it's the natural thing to do.
Acting is definitely something I would be interested in doing. I actually used to do a little musical theater, and that was always fun because you get to jump into. It's like jumping into somebody else's body. You get to pretend you're not you, and you get to do the weird, crazy things you would never do in real life.
Right. And it probably is a different kind of pressure, but not the same kind as being on a stage with 20,000 people staring at you and the bright lights are on in your face. You can redo things over and over.
Right.
And you can edit and,
They're like, nope, do that again. Take two.
Take two, take
Vinnie, three. Just keep going.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. And again, your website is?
It's VinnieV.com, VIENNIEV.com.
And people can order the new CD through Amazon and iTunes. And what about your next project? Because usually an EP is followed by something else. What are you working on?
I'm working on some new music. I want to go in, write some more songs, and complete it so I have a full album.
Anybody you want to work with? Any on your wish list?
Oh,
Besides
definitely.
Taylor Swift?
And Christina Aguilera.
Christina, and well, you can't work without a James. But.
I would love to work with Far East Movement, and I mean the list goes on. There's so many great artists out there.
That's what I mean. For an artist getting started like yourself to hook on to a big major tour like Madonna.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would help,
Definitely.
right?
Yes.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
And
Thank
we'll
you
look
for
forward to
having
seeing
me.
you here in D.C. again.
Yes.
I'm Larry London. This is the Border Crossings on the Voice of America. The album is for you. It's Vinnie V, and we'll be back with more music, so stay tuned.